All right, so let's talk about. Well, not talk about. Let's watch this, then I'll talk about what's this.
Hey everyone, this is Luke from the Destiny team. The Finalshape is the culmination of a 10-year journey. A journey that began on the Cosmodrome, took you to the moon, Venus, Mars, the reef, and beyond. It's a journey that'll end inside the Traveler with you facing the Witness. But facing the Witness is not the end of Destiny 2, and it's definitely not the end of Destiny. After you face the Witness, we're going to tell you what's coming next to Destiny 2 and beyond. We'll see you soon.
The Finalshape has been an amazing project to work on. The amount of creativity, the amount of design work, the amount of all these elements coming together has been inspirational.
I was like, are you guys seeing this? Are you guys seeing this?
It looks awesome.
I think that we're gonna have a pretty big impact and it's gonna shake things up a lot.
And we just wanted to give you a glimpse of what we're working on.
We are going into the pale heart of the Traveler, and the Traveler has chosen you, the Guardian, to be its champion. It's empowering us with gifts that we've never really had before.
One of the concept artists early on created this very evocative image of a Guardian with light armor and dark armor.
We're like, we really need this in the Finalshape. This is the ultimate form of being a Guardian, to wield light and darkness at the same time. We built Prismatic exactly to be that.
Prismatic is the new subclass in the Finalshape where you can combine certain class abilities from different damage types together.
Getting light and dark and mastering it. No one's done that before. Like the Witness is manipulating the energies like this, but the Witness is not a master of light and dark. You are. The Guardian is. Players are.
In Prismatic, underneath your super bar, there's a light meter and a dark meter. As you deal damage with either light damage or dark damage, it fills the respective sides of the meter. Once both sides are full, you get this new level of power that we're calling Transcendence.
I love Transcendence because you do these cool motions.
For Warlocks, we have this cool, like, mystic pose. Hunters are gonna do this cool, like...
The Titan one where you're just go.
While you're Transcendent, you get a new, unique grenade that combines both light and dark together. The Hunters get this fire and ice combo. Titans, Strand, and Arc. For the Warlock, Stasis and Void together. You have a weapon damage bonus that stacks on top of other weapon damage bonuses. Your grenade and melee are both instantly refunded when you cast Transcendence, so you can loop them together, one after the other.
That's really exciting.
That is so good.
We're kind of thinking about Prismatic as this advanced subclass where you have more build crafting options, more potential combinations, more fragments than you normally get, more fragment slots to socket them than you normally get.
That is a lot of combinations.
2,300. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just the art director. I think that Prismatic feels like you are doing combinations you shouldn't be able to do.
It feels a little game breaking, I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit?
you're going to be like, oh no, what have I done? I'm going to be here all night. It's not just about the mastery of light and dark. It's not just about using multipliers at the same time. It's about figuring out how they work in concert in really interesting ways.
We're transcending kind of the bounds of light and darkness. There's all these subclasses that really resonate with people, and now you can finally combine those and make your own Guardian feel very uniquely you.
This like really opens up the doors for unexpected, like really wild stuff.
I love being a hunter and having gunpowder gamble and blowing them up. And then we're like, oh, wait, what if you could slow enemies? You could throw out, your shurikens, and then you blow them up as well. And it's like, okay, I didn't think I could ever do those two things at the same time. And you're telling me I can do them as much as I want?
You can throw a Withering Blade melee and like bounce it between a bunch of people and get like 3 kills from one melee, and now your gunpowder gamble's like fully charged, right? And so like certain interactions I think get a lot easier just because we've sort of made the aspects a little bit more permissive, a little bit looser. So like when we playtest, I'm probably gonna be running Warlock with the Lightning Surge build where you have Arcane Needle for 3 melee charges, and then you combine that with Lightning Surge. You can throw Bleak Watcher on top of that for just like a little extra crowd control, or you can throw Devour. And so you're, jumping in, lightning surging, that's killing a bunch of stuff. You're activating Devour. That gives you infinite sustain, effectively, to stay in the fight.
As a Titan, you can just quickly start using your arc abilities to jolt all the enemies around you, and then kind of finish them off with like the cool blades of Strand. And it's so satisfying to see how fast you move. It's a very like fun, destructive build that you can just like destroy everything around you, and it's super fun.
There was this moment for me where I was like, wait a minute, I could send out Threadlings and have a Bleak Watcher. It just creates these moments of escalation within the combat, and I think that's really exciting for me.
If you combine Bleak Watcher and Feed the Void, you consume your grenade to throw your Bleak Watcher out there, and so it's, locking stuff down with stasis, doing crowd control. You can clean that stuff up pretty easily with, an Arcane Needle melee, which has 3 charges. Those ability kills will activate Devour, which gives you more grenade energy every time Devour activates, that lets you loop your Bleak Watcher. And so you can have like multiple Bleak Watchers out in the field, freezing stuff everywhere. You're just like launching your cool Strand melees out, and everything's dying, and it's great. Embracing the challenge of like, how do we make stuff that wasn't initially intended to like work together in the same build? Like, how do we twist them and warp them and push and pull this and that to make them work together?
I'm excited about, seeing all the players like talk about their favorite combinations. I'm just looking forward to all the videos that people make of their own custom builds with their own exotics that they're pairing it up with to create like these amazing builds. It feels infinite to me, and I'm really excited about that.
Pause there. So pretty much, I think they're at the point where they're done talking about from Prismatic and they're on to the exotic items and stuff like that. I might talk about that as well. I'm not too interested in it, but at the same time I am a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure. So Prismatic. I like the idea. This is something I laughed about when I found out about Prismatic. I literally talked about it one time. I don't know if it was on stream. I don't know if it was a friend or something like that or on a video. I just remember talking and I'm like, it'd be so cool if Finalshape or something something sometime in Destiny where we legit have the ability to combine our supers. Like our at the moment, I was thinking of just light subclass because like for Finalshape, we're going into Traveler, so it would make sense for us to use all light subclasses all at once. But combining dark subclasses is cool too. I like that as well. My only issue, I'm kind of playing the somewhat devil's advocate in a way. Even though I like this, I really do like this. There's a couple of things. One, there's no new dark subclass. I don't think I can't really count this as a dark subclass. This is more like something different, like more like God Traveler gave us the ability to do it. It's like we have the blessing of the Traveler or God itself. It gives us the ability like that to do that. So I wouldn't count that as a dark subclass. I wouldn't count it as a light subclass. I just count it as something completely different. Um, yeah, it's cool, but I kind of think it sucks that we're getting this, but we don't have our somewhat last final dark subclass. Kind of seems like we're missing that one key part. It just seems weird and odd, in my opinion. Also, my other issue with Prismatic, and this is just me, because I have such cool ideas and things I share a lot with myself, with myself and friends. And it's just like for once, Bungie is making something that I kind of talked about, but they're not doing it completely the way you want. I know that's stupid and all that stuff, but like what I'm trying to say is, sorry, allergies. Is that like the only thing we have besides the ability to customize and swap out subclasses to mix and match with other subclasses is that there's no new actual super, like unless you count the somewhat grenade as a super, but I think that's kind of dumb. I think that should be a requirement for I haven't knows because like they said, I can't remember what it's called.
In Prismatic, underneath your super bar, there's a light meter and a dark meter. As you deal damage with either light damage or dark damage, it fills the respective sides of the meter. Once both sides are full, you get this new level of power that we're calling Transcendence.
Transcendent. So when you go Transcended, you only get one thing. You get the somewhat grenade combination. So the odd weird thing about this is that from what they said, unless it can be changed or will be different for each subclass, is as freaking allergies, mucus, and all that stuff. I'm not sick, but just allergies. Things spring. Is that when you're ascended, you only get one ability, somewhat super ability. Like everyone becoming a sun singer in a way, Except Titans. Titans have what melee thing.
You have a weapon damage bonus that stacks on top of pose. Hunters are gonna do this cool like
The Titan one where you just go.
While you're Transcendent, you get a new, unique grenade that combines both light and dark together.
So he says,
While you're Transcendent, you get a new, unique grenade.
you get a new unique grenade. So, and like he says, hunters get a stasis, flamethrower, solar grenade. It's cool, but this is my question. My main issue is that if I'm not using stasis or I'm not using solar. Like, let's just say if I'm playing Hunter and I'm playing Void, Arc, and Strand. Even though this is the thing, I don't think we can have two light subclasses. But I'll get to that. Let's just say I'm using those three, and I activate Ascended. Will my grenade be solar and stasis, or will it be different? That's my main issue. It's like, it's not really customization if our grenade is going to stay, our Ascended grenade is still going to be the same thing. So I feel like that's going to be an issue. Not a big issue, but I feel like that kind of like loses the meaning of customization. And also, but that's just me. That's just me nitpicking on that. But that's just me. Our second issue is there's no super. There's no new super. Like, Ascended seems like it's the only super thing that we're getting, and I'm kind of bummed out on that because I was like, I have so many ideas like about buying supers, and with this, it gave me a new idea. Like, I'm like, imagine as a warlock, you put down Well of Radiance, boom, but you have combination. You combine two other dark subclasses or light subclasses. Let's just say the one idea I came up with is if I had Solar, Stasis, and Strand, I slammed down my Well of Radiance, the flames turn like blue color, or it could turn purple. Combination of red and blue is purple. So it could be a purple fire, or pink fire for the Ascendant stuff. And every time enemies come near it, they will burn and freeze at the same time. And also, they'll like for Strand, they'll like have a couple ideas, but like what are they called? Weavers, not weavers, threadlings. Threadlings start spawning and all that stuff because every time you pop a rift and all that stuff, threadlings spawn. But like, let's just say a couple of waves of threadlings spawn, and of course, well, already it's just a big giant freaking rift. It's like it would spawn like a big giant circle of threadlings. That'd be pretty freaking sick. And also, like, this is also a second thing is like, if we don't do if Bungie doesn't want to do the whole when enemies go into the Well Radiance and they freeze and burn at the same time, they could do the burning effect, but at the top of the sword, where in the middle of the Well Radiance, a Bleak Watcher will spawn. So you have a shooting stasis turret, threading spawning, and when enemies come in, they burn. Pretty dang overpowered, but it would be freaking cool. Maybe not too overpowered, but and of course you get the buffs and all that stuff. And I don't know. That's just something I think that'd be awesome to have. Something that'd be really cool to mess around to customize how your super wants to go. I think in game development ways that maybe would be too complicated. Maybe they would have to change the entire subclass page for Prismatic work that way. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was good at designing things, I could make my own like sample of showing how it could work. But that probably take too long. Like, I'm not the best at doing that stuff. I'm not the best, or I don't know how to do that. But yeah, like I think it'd be cool to have a Prismatic combination super instead of a Prismatic Ascended grenade or whatever. I feel like it'd be cool when you turn on Ascendance. You activate Ascendance, you're able to combine all the stuff with everything. Super, your grenade, your melee, and your possibility. Right? I feel like Ascendance should be multiple things, not one thing, not one ability, multiple. That's just me. Maybe for Bungie, it's like that's too much. Game by break and all stuff. And it could, maybe they do D3, maybe a D3, they could maybe improve that, and then then add that stuff. But that's up to Bungie. But yeah, like I'm kind of bummed out that the super isn't new. Like there's no new cool prismatic super. One thing I'm bummed out. What did I get? It's just yeah like that. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be awesome. I think if they did that, they add that later down the line, that'd be awesome. I don't know what themes are available in prismatic subclass. I think I saw like a clip of something saying that there's a limit of what you can do and what is able to be done in prismatic subclass. And like I can understand that. Like I had to compare it to the vocation from Dragon's Dogma 2, the Warfinder, Warfinder, I think the name of the vocation, where you can literally swap to different type of weapons without changing vocations. And I like that, even though sadly the vocation doesn't give the abilities or certain abilities from each class. So it is a bummer, but it's still cool and helpful for leveling up all vocations. So I can understand that, but it still sucks because again, you're a guardian, you have all these abilities. It kind of makes sense for you to be able to use all your subclass and all stuff. But game wise, can't. We can't. Prismatic looks cool, even though I'm not a big fan of pink. I don't hate pink, but I'm like, I would rather prefer a different color. That's just me. Yeah, just like that's I'm kind of excited. Definitely, this does make me want to pre-order Finalshape for sure. I might will do it. Um, but yeah, just like the whole thing with a certain decisions, certain things. I'm like, I'm yay, but I'm also nay because I'm a little bit the devil's advocate with Bungie because I have been burned. I think a lot of us have been burned by Bungie. So hopefully things work out. Hopefully things do improve for the better. Because again, like I definitely hope that they do add things into Destiny 2 that could improve the stuff, or in Destiny 3 make prismatics and other stuff. Like again, we still have we're still missing some things with like we all know that solar all the light subclasses pretty much have variants of each subclass, but dark subclass doesn't have their different variants. And if I had to clarify what variant means, I mean, if you're playing solar, you have different types of solar subclasses or solar supers and all stuff. Those are what I mean, variants. So Basis and Strand were still missing their variants. So I'm hoping maybe in the episodes or in Destiny 3, because I don't think we're gonna get another big DLC in Destiny 2. Because again, this game has been going on for too long. Still has a lot of issues. So it's better to start off with the Destiny 3. Of course, a lot of people don't want to start over and all this stuff. It's just if it's pretty much Bungie needs to do a good job to make sure that doesn't happen. Or the way they do it makes sense and isn't a big deal. But yeah, that's not the Bungie. But yeah. Yeah, Prismatics, again, excited to mess around, see how that goes. Definitely gonna have fun with that on my Hunter and Warlock. Titan, I like Titans in some areas, but I'm not the best Titan player. So I'm a Warlock / Hunter, but it'd be cool. Like imagine if another idea that popped in my head for a ascendant super for Titan is if you pop the bubble, kind of same thing with Wolverines, but a little bit different. Void, pop the bubble, you have stasis crystals or stasis like fragments around the bubble. When enemies come in, they start freezing, or instead of them coming in, they start freezing, or they get slowed. One or the other. When you can shoot out of the bubble, or go out of the bubble like old day D1 D1 bubble. Where you can go in, go out to get like a weapon of light kind of buff. Instead of weapon of light, it's stasis, like shots or something like that. Go in, go out, get stasis shots, or stasis slash Molotov shots, and you do stasis and Molotov damage. That'd be pretty cool. You can slow, freeze, and explode. Pretty freaking overpowered again. But it'd be cool. Of course, the third subclass would be maybe Strand. This is why I say that, and from what I've seen, this is why I say that you can only have two. You can only have one light subclass, because I have never seen anyone from the gameplay I've not seen anyone use multiple light subclasses. It's always one light subclass and two dark subclasses. And that's another thing I'm kind of like about. Like, if we do get the last and final dark subclass soon, is it possible for Prismatic to get an update, like I guess a 2.0 or a 3.0, however you want to put it as, where we can have 4 subclasses at once? 2 dark, 2 light? If so, that'd be awesome. But yeah, it's up to Bungie. But it would make sense, because, like, at the moment, it makes sense for us to have 1 light and 2 dark, I guess. But then again, we could still have 2 light and 2 dark. But again, that's just me. That's just me. I think it seems weird that we're only using 1 light subclass and 2 dark subclass when we're technically in the Traveler. I feel like we should be doing more. But then again, I could be wrong. Maybe we can have 2 light subclasses, 1 dark, or have 3 light subclasses at once. I don't know. They didn't like, from what they have told me, not told me, from what I have watched, they did not say any ideas of 3 subclasses. They only said light, dark, dark. That's it. Nothing about 3 subclasses. But they did say it was customizable. But then again, Bungie has always gives us those limits, so not really fully customizable if we have a limit of customization. So, yeah, nitpicking. That's just me. I'm a big giant nitpicker, kind of devil advocate person. But again, I really used to. I'm gonna say that used to love Destiny. I'm really hoping this DLC, this big final DLC, will better do pretty dang good. Even though I do have issues with the story decision and things they have done, I'm still hoping that this game, this DLC, will change the game and improve it. I don't know if it's going to improve it completely, but improve it in some ways. For me to somewhat come back more often. I'm only on Destiny right now just to play the new light, into the light kind of stuff, so I can just how that goes and get some good weapons. That's it. That's it. That's it. But yeah, it's pretty much really up to Bungie. Really, they need to get their stuff straightened up. Because we could talk about the subclass. I'm hoping we can change the way the exotic subclass items look like. And this is my issue with this is even though this is a cool idea, and I do like the idea that they're doing, where you can put 2 exotic perks into it, combine them, and it seems like you can combine other classes, like play as a warlock and have a titan or a hunter's exotic perk put onto you. I think that's cool, but my issue is it'd be cooler because I've always fantasized or desire the ability to equip multiple exotic armor pieces, armor pieces. Like I just think if I could combine certain armor, I'd be pretty dang overpowered. And like maybe this is their way of doing that. One armor piece and having you be able to choose 2 different 2 exotic perks. I guess that's cool. That's what they're doing. But at the same time, I'm like, it'd be depends on the design, because like not design depends on the look, because that's like another big thing about Destiny. It's like it's the fashion look. You know, fashion is the biggest thing in Destiny. It's like you've got to look cool. So like if we can't mess around with the look of this, it could be an issue for certain people. Of course, the Warlock is cool. The Bond is cool, but the Hunter or Titan's like, eh. So hopefully they can let us change the look. Hopefully. Like maybe they can add some cool ornaments for it when the DLC comes out. Of course, don't make it a payment, like a paywall. Like you could have some be behind a paywall, but have some be behind a silver or a drop kind of thing. I think that seems fair, but that's up to you guys. That's up to Bungie, not me, not you guys. That's we're all in charge of. Enemy types. I'm pretty much happy the way they look. I'm kind of happy that they actually did finally add new actual new enemy race. Kind of happy about that. Yeah, I'm excited for that. So that's pretty much it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm done talking about it because just rambling on. So yeah, hopefully things go well. Hopefully things can improve. Like I think it's possible. Bungie has changed things for supers. They have changed things for subclasses and all stuff. It's just mostly some of the changes weren't good. Like for example, a lot of examples, but I don't want to get much into it. But like they still haven't worked on things. They still could have changed certain things. For example, let's just say this. For example, Voidwalker. Okay, we got two no bombs. We got the Catalysm, we got the Vortex. Now, I think, in my opinion, I feel like one of these should become an aspect instead of a subclass. Not subclass, a super. That's just me. I feel like they could one of these could turn into like I don't know. It would have to be some type of interesting aspect that would make sense, work for even Nova Warp. Like let's just say this. Let's say Catalysm is the super, and Vortex becomes the aspect. They could update or change, or not change, or update or make a new aspect where Vortex becomes a thing for Catalysm and would change Nova Warp. So let's just say something aspect lets you change the Nova Bomb to Vortex, and Nova Warp, you are able. Let's just say because Vortex, you pretty much is pretty much Vortex is a big giant Vortex grenade. Let's just say for Nova Warp, you're Nova Vortex or something where you can teleport into a crowd of enemies and suck them in, and then explode. You know, like it makes sense because like again, animation where you hold the button down and then explode. Like it's like that, but like no warp aspect. Suck all the enemies in, you weaken them or volatile them, whichever, and then you let go, and it just does this cool explosion effect, and whoever gets hit by it, like let's just say, the explosion and the also does a scatter grenade kind of effect. Is it and when it explodes, you know, scatter grenade kind of effect happens, and enemies that get hit by it become weakened and volatile as well. It'd be very powerful, very very cool to have. That would make Nova War more interesting and funner to mess around because I don't see many people. I liked the idea of Nova Warp, but was very disappointed of the result. So, like I said, ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I could share so many ideas. Should give me a job from them. What else? There's also another thing. We're still missing. Is it in Finalshape? We're getting our final, somewhat super solar for warlocks. I guess we could call it 2.0 remake of Sunsinger. Sadly, can't self-res, so I'm not happy about that because I like my self-res back in D1. Very helpful for Nightfall's raids. You know, Bungie. Nope. um, but yeah, like for faces, we're still missing one variant, and of course for faces, and strand, we're two. That's weird. That don't mean a different slot. But that's sure, but maybe. But yeah, again, ideas, also of blabber 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 also.